Hello and welcome to the last session of the Candle Orange book. I hope you've been following the series and understanding that this entire program is meant as a guide for you as a teacher and hopefully for me as an instructor to make you understand these lesson plans much better. We've done almost everything. We've done 10 of these and today we'll do KLMM. So let's get started absolutely head on to make this session crisp and make it interesting. The K topic is health and society. Remember, the themes will always remain the same across the Candle curriculum. The one that you are reading right now is called Candle Wax. Essentially, it's the formation years of the children, and hopefully, as we grow into wick and not become wicked, but more of a support system when we go ahead. The skill tag we're talking about is decision making. Food is the biggest decision you make every day in your life. So why not introduce the food in a healthy planner? A planner that a student appreciates it, not just perhaps just green leafy vegetable, but making sure why is green leafy so wonderful. What are the colors in food available? The entire first page K1 talks about the herbs, talks about making a plate full of colors around it. My SDG tag, of course, will be the goal number 2, which is zero hunger, and goal number 3, which is good health and well-being. How do I take my conversation forward? What are the diets available? And if you're not a big time foodie, you can read that, or else you can find your own diets. For example, one of the most popular diets today is low carb whole food diet. I mean, cricketers, footballers, tennis players go for that because carbohydrate reduces your energy level. And diet which is rich in protein like fish, egg, fruit, nut is a diet which is devoid of fats and sugar and processed food is a great diet. There's another very popular diet called the Mediterranean diet. Well, of course, as the name says, it is a mixture of the conglomeration of the European diets out there. It's very strong for preventing cardiovascular heart diseases. Yes, so you can speak about vegetables, poultry, whole grains, legumes, even dairy product, and especially the Mediterranean tadka, the Mediterranean part, as virgin oil, virgin olive oil. We'll talk about what are the oils available. If you are a teacher who's great in kitchen, I think this is a topic for you to discuss about. What's a sunflower oil? How different it is from, have children even gone online to see what the oils available? How much is a packet of oil that costs you? As we discuss the food and the array of choices, you can talk about your own diet. And it brings me to my first activity, a very popular trend that's going on, something you should try, something you should learn about. What do you mean by being vegan? And we name a good code, Vegan Vidya. I have some great friends who become vegan now, and I understand a vegan does not even touch anything that associated with animal, including cheese or milk. Wow, this is a tough thing to maintain the standard. So what do vegans eat at the end of the day? Well, they are the strictest forms of vegetarian, right? So it's like all protein is from nuts, seeds, and cereals. So how do you talk about a vegan thing? Help Vidya go to a vegan breakfast, a vegan lunch, and a vegan dinner. Explore about vegan, explore about popular, as I said, the India's Virushka, Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma, a vegan couple. Go read about them, find what they were before and why did they turn vegan. Is this something you would like to explore? How about turning vegan for a day, if not a week or a month? It's a great exercise, making people understand and appreciate. There's another diet called the keto diet. Go around what a keto diet is. Are these diets more expensive? Are these rich men diet? Maybe you can discuss, debate, open up the floor, because the conversation in the life skill program is a conversation around your perspective. You to remove the prejudices. Perhaps maybe these are fantastic diets. We never understood them better. K4 goes to diets now for Anthony. Well, you look at Anthony, he must be weighing, ask them to guess his weight. Well, Anthony must be 130 kilos from what I look at it. Ask them if you would like to understand what your weight again Anthony is. Simple conversations. So, can you make a food chart for Anthony? Do you have any nutritionist that you can call for this session? Can you take a video or maybe a short clip of a nutritionist and how can you help him? Today, some of the best gyms in the world are also appointing nutritionists, dietitians. Why would you need a nutrition dietitian? Because exercise and food go hand in hand. You can talk a lot about it. Well, I love to explain a lot about it, and this is what you do. My favorite activity in this section is called the salad restaurant. I'm a big time soup and salad person. I can, survive on those two things. Imagine if, as a group of friends, you are supposed to go to a salad restaurant. Look at the salad round. and find out what ingredients they have. I love the Hulk salad. Find out what the Hulk salad have. Does it have a lot of broccoli? What if I had a Popeye salad? Maybe it would have a lot of spinach into it. Okay. What about some fresh leaves? What kind of salads? Peanuts or Waldorf salad. It's a very popular salad with apple into it. Caesar salad, where there was a popular joke about it that Shashi Tharoor loves Caesar salad because he always talks about Shakespeare. I don't know if a student can appreciate a little humor around it, but push certain ideas, concepts to them. How about you pushing them to make their own healthy menu? Well, I know that this will not immediately change their diet, but it'll make them conscious. My favorite author, Yuval Harari, says that sugar is the new gunpowder. How about talking a bit about sugar in our life? From little sachets in your tea to the sugar lumps and the mithais on Diwali, or the donuts that you get mad over them. Why should we have little less sugar in our life? L1 now, my penultimate, the 12th chapter of the book speaks about career aspirations and growth. And here we are asking students to make their own resume. What is a CV and what is a curriculum vitae? CV essentially is a professional document that you get on LinkedIn. Resume, perhaps look at the difference between the two. It's fun, it's fun. Sometimes even when I was preparing, I was a little unsure about what a CV should have. Main CV's purpose is to sell yourself to an employer. Resume is a lot about you. Resumes are shorter. CVs could be a lot of detail about academic career. Resume is about a personality. It's up to you. You can choose. You can mix and match words. It's of course interpersonal relationship in careers, in growth pattern, and the SDG goals are 8 and 9. By now you should know your goal number. Decent work, CVs for sure, and ninth is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. So a resume is like a snapshot into your life, right? It goes on top. It could be also covering part of your CV and what skills you require. Today, resume is not only about achievement, it's also about what you can do. When you prepare a resume or a CV, you start looking at the projects you've handled. Maybe in my CV, I've added quiz as a project. I've successfully completed one of the largest national quizzes across, and this is something you should be adding into it. So something that your resume should stand out. How do I make an activity? Well, my first one is a little mix and match here. I've given some professions to you. It is a bookkeeper with a year. It's a historian's 12-year-old daughter. It's an Olympic athlete. It's a firefighter. And then there are certain indicators of who they are. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Find out 4 or 5 of these. Where do they fit in? What kind of careers they have? If I explain, example, you have photographic memory. Since you are well read, you are knowledgeable about history, carpentry, and handiwork. You are married with one child. Your husband or wife is a US senator. Who could that be? Is that person is a daughter of a historian? No, it could be a daughter. It could be historian itself. Or perhaps, yes, that looks more. Or is it a college student? But the marriage part doesn't fit in. Okay, is it a bookkeeper, 31 years, but there's nothing to do with history? So you are suddenly asking a student to decode. Again, there are no right and wrong answers. There are most obvious, correct, close answers. My first one, you've invented a machine that converts any plant to gasoline. You love all kind of sports. You're an excellent fisherman. Who are you? Clergy at a church, difficult, an athlete, difficult, college student, possible. Why not? Can't it be a biochemist? More possible, working in a research lab. So you are looking at some options and careers. Maybe you can choose one and ask them to make their own small title, and others can guess what the career is about. This is again, every activity I have, there are few of my favorites. I've picked up the CEO's resume. So I've taken up 3 CEO resume, and here you are the HR, you are the human resource who will appoint or select one of them based on the resume. Who could that be? Is it Mark Zuckerberg and his resume? And believe me, they are all available. It's fun, isn't it? Or is it Elon Musk's resume or Marisa Mayer from Yahoo is now in Google? Who are you talking about? Maybe based on this, they can prepare their own resume. And look at this. This is wonderful. Now, as I said, one snapshot and you know who they are looking like. It's a new CEO of your company. It could be any one of them. If you're a strong gender activist, you can say, no, I want to take a lady. If you're very well into technology innovation, you can say Elon Musk. Or you are more youth oriented, you can say Mark Zuckerberg. But the beauty of it is you look at that and you prepare your own CVs based on what I'm giving you. The final activity here is using your 5 senses. What are your senses used for in each of the professions in the picture given below? So an accountant, a banker, a doctor, a chef, a firefighter, a captain, a surgeon, a business entrepreneur, anyone, what are the senses used? It's more of a thinking activity. It could be a group activity. You have to decode the profession from the little pictures you've got. I've given you the list of all the professions out there. What senses you use? For example, a pediatric doctor definitely have to have a more touch-based thing, but a dermatologist is more important for a touch-based, and a pediatric perhaps should be more into auditory. A dentist should have more visual strength. Understand. A singer, of course, vocal cord, not so much of a smell, but a florist has to be someone who uses the nose very often. A little fun out there as we complete our career session. Well, we've come to the last activity of Candle Orange, and it talks about community service. And the critical thinking is the tag that I associate goal number 16 and 17. Often you'll find these two goals together. What is the role of the media over the last few years? I've come up with a very interesting case study of a lady called Kathy, and how has Kathy's life changed over the media's change. So, Kathy is, immediately she gets up, checks her smartphone, looks at the message, interacts with it. On a busy day, Kathy is already having an app, a YouTube clip. This is Kathy's life. But Kathy's great grandparent, Elizabeth, she had a very different personality. Oh, she had a printed available newspaper for her. She enjoyed reading the Sunday comics. She also subscribed to magazine, not blogs. We're talking about, let's say, Kathy is 2020. So Elizabeth was 1920 or maybe 1950 also, because in today's world, 10 years and 20 years have made a big difference in the world of media and technology. Well, Elizabeth could not spend a lot of time on a phonograph, but she had a piano to sing lessons. While she has an iPad or an iTunes to or download movie from Netflix, she went to a real theater to watch the movie. So go ahead and look at the changes that have happened in journalism over the years. This is a case study for you to discuss, to understand how has your consumption of media changed for your father or your grandfathers. But today, what are the trends in journalism? Competition for click. Clickbait we call them. It's like a mouse bait. You click and you go to an ad. Rush to publish. Today with the Kindle and the e-books, you just want to publish. Sometimes the quality is poor, but maybe people are reading more. Social media. Every author have to go and promote their book. There is a book by Susan Cain called Quiet. It's about introvert, and she says the worst thing about writing a book on quiet was I had to go to social media and tell about the book. I am a quiet person. I have to tell loudly about what my book is about. Donation based payment. Today, how do you make your PayPal's or InstaMojo payments? And politicization. How has news and media become very, very prejudiced, politicized? Whoever has the loudest media has the loudest mouth. A lot of conversation can go on for that. Each of this has been discussed in great detail. Politicization, you can go to Wimbledon, Oscars, where black people represented very poor. Great media, great conversation. My first activity is about the fake news. I have an entire workshop for students on this. Every theme has a lot of amazing perspective, but fake news is one of very detailed workshop on how has social media been, a reason for the population of fake news. You can talk about Google and Facebook, and how do you determine a news which is fake and real? You can look at a newspaper, you can talk about it. For example, Pope endorses Donald Trump. Definitely a fake news, but that's how they become very popular. We also have my activity, the last one perhaps, on stock market. Well, it's not a very popular theme, and I want the students to understand what is a bear and what's a bull market. How do you understand the London Stock Exchange, the New York Exchange, or the BSE in India, the Bombay Stock Exchange? Go ahead and find out the stock prices of the popular blue chip companies. Could be Facebook or Amazon or Tesla or Reliance and Tata in India. You have to understand the stock market much better. So this is it. When Elon Musk tweets, the stock markets go up and down. What happens? Or Uber's had a problem with the CEO. When he was fired, the Uber stock went down. Or when Reliance acquired Disney for $4 million, the entire stock of the organization went up. What happens? When a company gives a charity, you understand the stock market the way you understand. And finally, on the world of media, as in community service, you are designing your own newspaper. A small trivia: Thomas Edison, one of the greatest scientists, started by selling newspaper on the railway station of England. Why not you just make a newspaper? You can start with an economic page, a sports page, or a local newspaper, but it's for fun. Do it on Padlet, do it on a physical paper, do it orally on a WordPad. But the idea is enjoy, challenge your students, and that is how you will learn. How do you frame a headline? How many words should a headline have? What are the words you use? I'm the correspondent. Maybe you can do a media with an interview. Anything that makes your class more interesting is a class worth talking about it. This is the end of Candle's Orange Book. I hope you enjoy these blogs, these audio lesson plans as much as we enjoy making it convenient for you to teach in your class. Goodbye, good luck, and hopefully to see you again for the other curriculum and discussions.